Okay, so I decided to just do a quick little tutorial on data logging and some of the tips and tricks and things. I'm going to have to break this video up into multiple sections. I tried doing it all in one, and one video was just too long. It was my computer started freezing, and it was just kind of just a bad situation. So anyway, the first thing you want to do is get in your car, go ahead and plug your HP Tuner's OBD2 scanner into your computer and the vehicle, and then you go ahead and go in, turn your ignition to the on position. I wouldn't start it just yet, but you could if you wanted to. You're going to go ahead and click right here where it says connect to vehicle. Give it a minute. Sometimes a little screen pops up right here, gathering information. So while it's doing that, something that is of importance is to get as much data as you possibly can whenever you're doing a data log. I've run into situations in the past where I was looking at I was only data logging a few different points of data and could not figure out why I was having issues. Um, then after logging all the data and then starting to plug in different equations into these graphs and looking at the chart versus time, I could see that it was actually one of my cams is not quite getting enough oil fed to it from the solenoid, and it was causing it to have a position fail. And since the timing is driven off of the cam that was failing, it was causing my timing to go positive and negative about 15 degrees in some instances under light load. So I didn't, long story short, I basically did not figure that out until after logging all this data and then running through all the data, and I finally figured it out. Initially, when you first open up a configuration, it'll only have, engine RPM, vehicle speed, maybe fuel pressure, intake temperature, load, spark, long-term, short-term fuel trims, and then O2 sensors, which is all fine and dandy. I mean, it gives you your basic stuff, but I always prefer to do a data log with as much data as possible. That way you can just really kind of get in there and review things, look for patterns. So the way to go about that is after you've connected to your vehicle, you're going to go ahead and go up here to vehicle, click on this, and click repull for supported parameters. I just finished doing this earlier this morning, so I know that I'm up to date. When you do that, there's going to be a little box that appears right around here. It usually takes a minute or two, and basically what that's doing is it's going through your ECU and seeing what parameters is it that are available to HP tuners and the software through the device at this time. It is noteworthy that whenever HP tuners does an update, sometimes that changes. I know that from yesterday to today, I lost some parameters but gained a lot of parameters with the most recent update, which I believe is 4.42, I believe. But anyway, so once you've done that, you can go ahead and click this add channel to add a channel. It should be noted that you'll see this configuration a lot. There's add, save, and open. So you can click right here, open channel configuration, and you can see I have a few different channel configurations. The reason I have different channel configurations is this one right here is all available channels for my Mustang. All channels is the basic ones, all the basic channels that I'm going to want, and these two are other ones I was just messing around with. The reason why I have this all channels right here is it's a lot less. You can see the file size right here. It's literally a third of the size, which means it's getting about a third of the parameters and data, but at the same time, you can set everything to have a faster response time. And by response time, I'll show you that here in a second. So you can just click on one of these and open it up. It's I already had this one open. This is the one that I prefer to use. So you can see I've got engine RPM, and there's a few different ones right here. If you look at this, so this is 200 milliseconds refresh rate. That's what I was just talking about. You can turn down your refresh rate if you have a lot of engine data that you're trying to pull at the same time, just so that you're not bogging down your computer or the ECU. However, I have mine all set to defaults right now. But something that like ambient temperature, you don't need it to read ambient temperature every 10 milliseconds. So you can set that somewhere around 5 seconds or 10 seconds or even 2 seconds if you want to be pretty thorough, and it's going to read the change in ambient temperature. Should be noted that most ambient temperature sensors won't even respond that fast, even if you did have them up there. So having more or less different points of data will allow things to operate a little bit quicker. That being said, I'm hoping that my recorder is not glitching on me. Earlier this morning I was having some problems with it glitching just because you can see the large amount of raw data that I've been logging. I even had to take just a quick short data log just now, just so that I'm not overloading anything. So once you have your channel configuration open, you can go through, and because we are repolled, everything that you can click on here is something that you're going to have a sensor for. You can see they're all highlighted in blue. That means that if it's highlighted in blue, you already have that data being logged over here. So you can see I already have all the stuff, but you can go through all of these different things to get whatever you want. Should be noted, this right here, if you, let's say, we'll open up idle. See how it says 12 right here? All that 12 is just a signifying this right here, scalars, which means it's going to give you an integer, a number, positive or negative, for that actual data. And then over here, it'll give you what it is: mass, flow rate, angular frequency. So you have your desired RPM, and it's going to give it to you in a digit form, the scalar, and that's measured by angular frequency. So it's measuring the frequency and then turn that into RPMs. Let's see, let's go to something that's a little bit easier to read. General, give your engine RPM, time since start, and the same thing, you can see it's 12, which means it's going to be an actual number. If it's got this little flag symbol, that means it usually has criteria. It's either yes, no, pass, fail, and it'll have that over here. It'll just literally show you pass or fail right here in your value area. Let's see if we can find a condition. There should be a condition somewhere down in Spark. So there you go, Spark source. And when you see this 1, 2, 3, and you come up here, it says states, condition. It depends on what tuning source you're looking at. But so clicking on this, when you're looking at it over here, it'll either give you condition 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever condition it is, and you can look that up in the help section. Or sometimes it'll just flat out tell you, like for Spark Source, it'll say it's reading, it'll say MBT Advanced, which means that it's taking its timing table from the MBT, or it'll say borderline not, or it might just say like cold start, or there's several different things that it might state. You can go through and add whatever you want. I personally, like I said, add everything I possibly can just to make sure that I have all the data. It's really important to have all the data when you come over here and you start looking at your graphs and your time charts. So if you are new and you're looking at this right here and you're like, how the hell is that blue? The reason that it's blue, if you right click on this, so you can add channel, you can go to units, you can change the units on each one of these, you can change the decimal points, your polling interval, you can move it up and down. So if you, like, you can see I have all my RPMs grouped together, then coolant temp together, then runtime. I have things grouped together. You can move them up and down using these so that you don't have to delete it and re-add it somewhere else. You just wanted to add one random channel. You could say I wanted to add one channel right here. You just click on this, right click, and add channel. Add that one particular channel that you want to, if you didn't want to use the add all feature up at the top. So there you go. It brings you to the same page essentially, except for this way you can select where it goes. You can go to display properties, and under display properties you can see this is how I changed the colors. I wasn't really happy with all of the white right here. It made it kind of difficult to read, especially at night. I do most of my data logging at night due to high temperatures here in Arizona during the day. And you can just go through and change it to whatever scheme you like. You can clearly say, I like blue. It's pretty cut and dry. I like blue and black. So once you've decided which ones you like, you can do the same thing. You can save it right here, save properties, and then save that so you can apply it to other channels, other displays. Or you can click on default properties. It'll bring it down. So that's just general rundown on just how to get these sensors in there. I'm going to go ahead and stop this video, and then I'll make another one about the chart versus time and the graph, how to use them, how to set them up, and how to read them.